Guys, it is official. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is officially signed for May of 2025. This is absolutely insane. Now, I don't believe there's any information as to what weight this is going to exactly be at, but my guess is that this is going to be at 160. If I'm not, I don't think it's going to be at 168, but it could be. Very well could be. It could be on Canelo's terms. Who knows? I mean, just look at this picture of him, just sitting there masquerading in the business proposal that was just addressed to him. Obviously, this is not a picture in live time of when he got addressed this, but supposedly the rumors are true that the Saudi Arabians are getting involved in Canelo Alvarez's next fight against none other than Terence Bud Crawford. Now, if this fight is actually happening at 160, that is very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. There was a clip of Canelo talking about how it was in December of now 2024, of course. We are now January 2025. And Canelo was saying that he was waiting to talk anything about boxing until that of this year, January of this year. It is now, of course, the first weekend of January, and we have this announcement here. So those are both correlating with one another. I wish I could have found that video. Hopefully I'll be able to go back and find it and post it. But if not, just you have to trust me here. There was a video of Canelo indeed in December saying that he was going to wait to negotiate until January of this year. So this would correlate with that timeline. And yeah, I don't know. I'm relatively excited for this. I think it's exciting for Canelo too. It's exciting enough for his legacy. So my guess is that he's not going to be making as much from this fight as he would be from his David Benavidez proposal. I'm assuming that he's proposing a lot more money to fight David Benavidez than Bud Crawford. I don't want to throw numbers out there without sounding ignorant, but I'm going to anyways because I am ignorant. I'm going to go ahead and just go off of a rough estimate and say that Canelo is making, I'm going to say between 75 million and 150 million from this fight. How much Bud Crawford's making? I'm going to say maybe 30 million. That'd be my guess. Altogether, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to. It sounds ignorant, but hearing the numbers, I know it's not India, but hearing the numbers from the Logan Paul, Conor McGregor fight makes me wonder, how much these guys are really, really making. So I'm gonna say maybe, who knows? Maybe they're both making over 100 million. Maybe Canelo's making 200 million on this fight. Who knows? But I think he did propose that he wanted to make 200 million versus David Benavidez. And as I was saying before, I think this fight's exciting enough for his legacy because Bud is the pound for pound. He's ranked pound for pound best fighter right now. So I think this would be enticing enough for his legacy because if he does, of course, beat Bud Crawford, then he would undoubtedly be listed as the pound for pound, you'd have to assume, right? Now, the grand question, like I said, for this fight looms, and that question looms in the fate of the weights that they're going to fight at. Does Bud Crawford go all the way up to 168 to challenge him at super middleweight, or do they come down and meet at a catch weight of, say, like 160? I don't believe there's a weight class at 160, a signified weight class. My boxing weight classes are a little, a little off. There's so many different ones, and I kind of forget the names and of which different weights they're all at and all that stuff. But I do know that Bud Crawford started at 147 and he worked his way up to 154, and I believe Canelo has done the same thing, except he moved all the way up to 175 is the highest that he's gone. And he's basically his best, I've heard he's his best at 164, which I think 164 is the other possibility of the fight, or the weight class that they're going to fight at. And that would make a lot of sense to me because 160 is still quite a bit of weight for Canelo to cut, and it doesn't seem like he'd want to cut weight, but who knows? If he's making enough money, then he very well will probably cut the weight, Why not? But real quick, we're gonna go ahead and show you this other X post here. Whoom, just to show you. Now this is against Berlanga. Take a look at this left hook. Oh my! One more time. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Now Bud Crawford, his defense is pretty good, and his footwork's pretty good. Of course, he's a switch hitter, so that makes his footwork even a little more complicated. I would say a little more diverse. And Canelo's footwork's not so great. I mean, it's not. It's different. We'll just say it's different. He uses his upper body a lot more, so he's not really sticking and moving as much, right? So I don't know. Stylistically, I do think this fight's going to be pretty boring. Whether or not Canelo gets the finish is a great question. Do we see Bud Crawford finish Canelo? I think that the chances are so slim of that. I mean, Bud Crawford is a counterpuncher, which is why I do think that this fight's also going to be boring. With him coming up in weight class, he's probably going to play it really safe. It's the biggest fight of his career, absolutely, bar none. Canelo's biggest fight's got to be Mayweather still, right? It's got to be Mayweather still. Now, if he fights David Benavidez, that could very well be Canelo's biggest fight. I've heard talks of Canelo fighting Jake Paul as well, but who knows? Who knows if that really, really happens? But I'm getting off track here. Yeah, I really do think that if these two do meet up in the ring, like they are saying, May 2025, which is way sooner than I would have anticipated, by the way. I would have expected this to be closer to the end of next year. I would expect Bud Crawford to maybe, kind of have a couple more tune-up fights, maybe fight at least once above 160 or at 160 or whatever the closest weight class to that is, because I think his last fight was at 154, if I'm not mistaken. So do we potentially see Canelo? Now, this is another great possibility we didn't really talk about. Do we potentially see Canelo cut all the way down to 154? That would be nuts. Or even below 160. Even below 160 would be nuts. So, I don't know, guys. I'm pretty excited for this one. I do think it's, like I said, it's going to be a boring fight stylistically, since Crawford's more of a counterpuncher. And he's going to be coming up in weight. But I don't know. Who knows? They might get an exciting fight. I think Crawford is extremely strong for his weight class. I think he's going to move up well. He's big for the weight classes that he's fighting, especially 147. So I think he's going to move up pretty well. And Canelo's obviously a smaller guy in his weight class. So I don't know. I think we're going to be surprised. And it's going to be a mega fight because it's going to be for pound. Both of these guys are in the top 5 pound for pound. I believe Canelo is actually ranked number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Either 5 or 3. And I think Bud is ranked number 1. And I think Naoya Inoue is ranked number 2. Or it could be mixed up. I don't know. Boxing is, all the rankings kind of get me mixed up sometimes. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Crawford can get the job done, or do you think Canelo gets the finish? Do you think it goes to decision? Are you even excited for this? Is this even a really exciting fight? Because I think we all, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty competitive. I'll try and stay positive, but I don't know. I just want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez, guys. Come on, let's be honest. David Benavidez is the only fight that makes... I would watch Bivol again, too. I would watch Canelo versus Bivol. I'd watch Better Beef as well. Honestly, watching Canelo move up is much more intriguing to me and interesting to me than him, fighting someone at a lower weight class like Crawford. But, I don't know. I would honestly much rather see Crawford fight Ryan Garcia, if I'm not lying. I would much rather see Ryan Garcia move up to 147 or 154 or whatever and fight Crawford. But we could see Ryan Garcia. I think he's going to do that Ryzen fight, but I don't know. That's for another video, guys. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to follow me on X. It'll be posted down in the description below. And hopefully I can find that video of, whoa, what was that? 35,400K. Wow. The differential between the UFC and boxing. But on that note, guys, I am out of here. Much love and appreciation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe if you enjoyed, and if you want to watch more MMA content, yeah, by all means. Peace and love, y'all.